What if Nigeria's biggest refinery could end those endless fuel queues overnight, but only if marketers are finally treated fairly and allowed to buy at prices that make sense? That's exactly the battleground DAPPMAN is making its case about. The Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPPMAN, has stepped into the spotlight with demands for fairer access, more transparent pricing, and steady bulk fuel supply from Dangote Petroleum Refinery. The association insists that unless these changes happen, Nigerians will continue to suffer from fuel shortages, high pump prices, and unpredictable availability. Key issues raised by DAPPMAN. 1. Access and fair pricing. Marketers want Dangote to allow them to purchase petroleum products directly with transparent pricing and reliable supply. The complaint is that many marketers are being excluded or dealing under restrictive terms, which raises costs and reduces their ability to serve customers without passing higher costs on. 2. Use of existing depot infrastructure. DAPPMAN argues that marketers have built depots across Nigeria, locations like Warri, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Calabar, over decades, and these should be used for distributing fuel from Dangote. They believe this will reduce transport or logistics overhead, thus reducing costs to end users. 3. Bulk supply over retail gantry sales. Bulk purchases, i.e. large volumes lifted to depots, are preferred because retail from the refinery's gantry can't meet the full demand of the country. DAPPMAN says relying only on retail causes shortages and fuel queues. 4. Avoidance of subsidies, but bridge the logistics gap. DAPPMAN says they are not asking for subsidies. Their request is commercial, that the refinery and its policies consider the additional logistics costs, example coastal transport, ports, pumping, that marketers must absorb. They mention that using coastal logistics adds about 75 naira per liter extra cost, which compounds given daily consumption levels of PMS, Petrol, and AGO, diesel. Dangote's response and the points of dispute. Refinery claims on subsidy demand. Dangote has stated that DAPPMAN's requests amount to an annual subsidy demand of about 1.505 trillion naira to allow marketers to lift fuel to their depots at near gantry price. Gantry price versus depot price via coastal logistics. The refinery says it already sells at its gantry at a certain price. The issue arises because DAPPMAN wants delivery via coastal logistics and other associated costs, ports, pumping, etc., to be discounted or absorbed, which would reduce their cost at depots. Capacity and stocks. Dangote asserts that it has sufficient capacity to meet domestic demand and maintains a stock of refined products monthly. It also claims that marketers are still importing significant volumes, even though local supply is available. No intention to raise gantry price. Dangote says it will not increase its gantry price to accommodate the extra cost demands for marketers. It emphasizes that marketers are free to lift fuel directly from the gantry without those added logistics if they choose. Implications and stakes. 1. Fuel queues and shortages. If fairer access is not granted, fuel trucks may continue to face shortages in rural or remote areas. Queues may persist. The supply instability hurts consumers directly. 2. Pump prices and inflation. Higher logistic costs passed through to retail will increase pump prices. Any subsidy or discount that marketers demand could force Dangote to raise pump prices, if absorbed at the refinery, or see marketers increase prices to cover their costs. 3. Market fairness and competition. The debate touches on whether Dangote is operating in a monopolistic way or whether the distribution system is too controlled. Transparency and open access are central concerns. 4. Policy and regulatory oversight. Because fuel pricing, transportation costs, and refinery capacity relate to broader regulatory policy,
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay informed with fast, reliable news, don't forget to subscribe to Newsflash 360. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Your next headline is just seconds away.